Have you ever heard a sound that can end a career? Not a metaphor. I'm talking about a single, solitary pitch so high, so impossibly difficult, that sopranos have walked off stage after missing it and never returned to the role. This isn't hyperbole. It's the stark reality of the operatic world. That note is F6. It's the Everest of the soprano repertoire, the stratospheric summit of Mozart's infernal Der Hölle Rache, an aria better known as the Queen of the Night's aria. Tonight, we're not just watching any singer attempt it. We are witnessing the one artist who doesn't just hit it, doesn't merely survive it, but transforms this terrifying vocal precipice into her personal throne. The incomparable Diana Damrau. She doesn't just sing the F6. She owns it. She commands it. She slays it.
So what makes one single note so lethal? Let's be clear. Most coloratura arias are demanding. They ask for vocal fireworks. But Der Hölle Rache is different. It doesn't just ask for fireworks. It demands a flamethrower that can also etch glass. The F6, perched a staggering fourth above high C, sits right where the traditional registers give way to something far more precarious. The whistle register. This is not a note you can fake. You can't muscle it, you can't bluster through it, and you certainly can't whisper it. To produce a truly resonant F6, a singer must spin a thread of sound so strong it can slice through a full Mozart orchestra, yet so thin it can bend through intricate, rapid-fire ornamentation. Imagine trying to thread a needle with a steel cable. That's the paradox. The stakes are astronomically high. One tiny wobble, one fleeting moment of lost breath support, and the Queen's terrifying fury collapses into an undignified squeak. The entire character vanishes in a puff of air. Legends like Edita Gruberova and Natalie Dessay famously conquered this note, but they often treated it like a landmine, an obstacle to be navigated with extreme caution. You could see the tension, feel the effort. But Damrau, she doesn't navigate it, she plants a flag on it, claiming it as her own territory with an almost unnerving ease. She embodies the fury, the command, the absolute unyielding power it represents. To understand the sheer difficulty, the whistle register isn't about pushing more air, it's about precisely controlling the vibration of only the very edges of the vocal folds. It's like playing a flute where the reed is made of your own flesh. The vocal cords are stretched to their absolute maximum, vibrating at an astonishing 1,396.91 Hz for an F6. At this pitch, the margin for error is non-existent. It's a high-wire act performed without a net, under the most intense scrutiny imaginable. So, who is this woman? This vocal sorceress who tames the untamable? Diana Damrau is a German soprano, a mother of two, a fan of Bayern Munich, and in the realm of coloratura, think about this. She has sung this aria over 200 times on 4 different continents. From the Met in New York to La Scala in Milan, from Vienna to London. And every single time, that notorious high F is still there. Night after night, she delivers it with unwavering accuracy and power. That's not just talent, it's unparalleled discipline. It's like a baseball pitcher throwing a perfect fastball every single evening for a decade without ever missing the strike zone. The consistency is almost superhuman. It's no wonder critics started calling her the Queen of the Night in headlines. It wasn't just a nickname. It was an acknowledgement that she had taken out a patent on the role. She didn't just perform it, she defined it. Her interpretation became the gold standard against which all other queens would inevitably be measured, infusing the character with a complex blend of regal menace and tragic desperation that few others could achieve. All right, for the opera newbies, Why is this aria so utterly bonkers? Let's get you up to speed on the magic flute. Mozart's Singspiel is a fantastical journey where Prince Tamino falls for a portrait of Pamina, daughter of the Queen of the Night. The Queen tells Tamino that Pamina has been kidnapped by the evil high priest, Sarastro, and tasks him with her rescue. But here's the twist. Sarastro isn't evil. He's the leader of a wise brotherhood. The Queen of the Night is the true villain, representing darkness and vengeance. She feels betrayed by Sarastro, who she believes stole her sevenfold sun circle, a symbol of power after her husband's death. She is furious. Der Hölle Rache kocht in meinem Herzen. Hell's vengeance boils in my heart, erupts in Act 2. By now, Pamina has fallen for Tamino, who is joining Sarastro's brotherhood. The Queen, seeing her power wane and her daughter slipping away, confronts Pamina in a fit of rage. She hands her daughter a dagger and issues a chilling ultimatum: murder Sarastro or be disowned and cursed forever. This aria is that moment of ultimate, visceral fury. It's a mother's vengeful curse, a command to murder.
Her consonants are so sharp, they feel like they could cut steak. Listen to how she clips the K in cocked. It's a percussive crack. There's no warmth here, it's a declaration of war. Notice the vibrato. It's not wide and lush, it's narrow, almost icy, giving her voice a laser-like focus. This isn't a singer trying to charm you. This is a force of nature. She isn't singing, she's detonating. Each word a carefully placed explosive. The voice itself seems to emanate from a place of pure, unadulterated fury, channeled through a mechanism of astonishing precision. The clarity of her diction is astonishing. Every word is intelligible, every syllable imbued with venom. It's a masterclass where technique serves character with absolute devotion. So, how does she do it? How do you keep the larynx, that little voice box, low and relaxed when the pitch you're aiming for defies gravity? It seems like a complete paradox. Your brain screams, "Go up," but your body needs to stay grounded. Damrau once offered a fascinating insight. She thinks, down to the hips, not up to the forehead. What does that even mean? It's a vivid way of describing the necessity of anchoring breath support deep within the body. Imagine pushing a ridiculously heavy shopping cart using only your abdominal muscles, while your neck and shoulders are completely relaxed. That's the kind of paradoxical effort Damrau is describing. Her core muscles provide a rock-solid foundation of breath pressure. This deep, grounded support allows her throat and larynx to remain wide, open, and free from tension. When the throat stays open, it creates the ideal resonant space for overtones to ring. Every note is a complex blend of a fundamental frequency and a series of higher frequencies called overtones. They are what give a voice its richness and carrying power. When a singer's technique is perfectly aligned like Damrau's, these overtones ring out clearly, adding brilliance and projection. They are what allow her F6 to cut through a full orchestra, not just with volume, but with a shimmering, supernatural clarity. It's a reminder that true vocal power comes not from pushing, but from supporting. You thought, think about the dramatic effect. While other singers create a beautiful flowing line, Damrau uses this passage to spell doom in Morse code. Each detached note is a sharp, insistent jab, a sonic exclamation mark of the Queen's unwavering command. The audience doesn't just hear a brilliant run, they hear the relentless pressure the Queen is exerting on her daughter. It's terrifying, exhilarating, and a testament to her unique ability to blend virtuosic technique with profound dramatic insight. As the aria progresses, Mozart meticulously builds the tension. The strings begin a rising chromatic scale,
creating a sense of being pulled upwards into the Queen's escalating fury. The orchestral pulse quickens, mirroring the racing heart of both Pamina and the audience. On stage, you can see the internal machinery whirring within Damrau. Her eyes narrow, not in fear, but in intense focus, a predatory glint reflecting the Queen's murderous intent. Her chin drops a millimeter, a subtle adjustment to optimize resonance, and then the ribcage expands, visibly, powerfully, as she takes in a monumental breath. This is the moment every queen dreads, the approach to the first high F. Yes, there's more than one. This F6 sits on the German word Schwur, meaning oath. The Queen is demanding an oath of murder, and this note is the sonic manifestation of that terrifying vow. And then she fires it. It's not an effortful push, it's a laser beam. There's no scoop, no sliding into the note, no hint of uncertainty. It's a pinpoint of pure silver light, perfectly centered and radiating with terrifying intensity. The audience collectively gasps, but Damrau is already moving on. The F6 on Schwur is just the opening salvo, a declaration of intent, a promise of the even greater vocal feats to come. If you're finding yourself utterly captivated by this deep dive into vocal mastery, do yourself a favor and subscribe to Opera Brownn. I'm here every week.
At this altitude and speed,
It requires superhuman flexibility. Damrau's trills are not just fast, they're incredibly even. The oscillation is so rapid and perfectly controlled, it sounds like a bee frozen in time, its wings vibrating at an impossible frequency. It's a sound that seems to defy the laws of physics, a testament to a larynx that operates with instantaneous, precise responsiveness. This is it, the moment we've all been waiting for, the note that has defined careers, broken spirits, and cemented legends. The final, ultimate F6. As Damrau prepares, the orchestra hushes to a shimmer. The air becomes electric. You could hear a pin drop. She lands on the F. It's not just hit, it's placed with sculptural precision. She holds it, a hair longer than the score asks, stretching time, letting the note hang in the air like a crystalline spear of sound. Then, with a surge of power, she fires off a second one, even louder, an absolute declaration of vengeance. The vibrato on this note is a phenomenon. For the first half second, it's a dead-straight laser beam of sound. Then, it blooms, ever so slightly, into a controlled, narrow vibrato, just enough to keep it human. It's a breathtaking display of control at the absolute edge of human capability. And the sheer volume? Archives from the Bavarian State Opera reportedly clocked her F6 at an astonishing 107 decibels at the conductor's podium. That's chainsaw-level volume. That's louder than a jackhammer. Yet, it's not a raw blast of sound. It's a high F, perfectly pitched, so exquisitely formed it could hang in the Louvre. It's a sound that doesn't just fill the hall, it vibrates in your bones. This F6 isn't just a note, it's a force of nature channeled through a human voice. So why do other sopranos, even talented ones, often break on this note? It boils down to three main killers: crest phonation, tongue tension, and over-adduction. First, crest phonation. This is trying to sing loud by pushing too much air through tightly closed vocal folds.
the F6 is hit, the audience is reeling, but the job isn't over.
In fact, what comes next is almost as challenging. After that earth-shattering note, she has to descend with breathtaking speed to a low B flat, on the word Todd. Death. This isn't just a drop, it's a controlled plummet that needs to convey the chilling finality of the curse. Most queens, after such a monumental effort, tend to plummet and splat. But Damrau floats. She makes this rapid descent feel like a controlled suspension, a slow-motion fall that amplifies the dramatic impact. The contrast feels like a guillotine in reverse. The blade is lifted, but the threat still hangs heavy. But Mozart, ever the sadist, isn't done. The aria culminates with one final flourish, a chromatic scale that ascends again to a high F, but this time marked pianissimo, incredibly soft. This is arguably even harder than hitting the F6 loudly. It requires an unbelievable level of breath control and nerve. Damrau threads the needle with such exquisite quietude, you instinctively lean forward. The sound is gossamer thin, yet perfectly focused, a shimmering, distant star. It's a moment of chilling, ghostly beauty. And then, with a final, decisive flourish, she snaps the last staccato note like breaking a neck. Silence. And then, chaos erupts as the audience bursts into a thunderous ovation. When a singer achieves this level of mastery, their peers notice. Conductor Christian Thielemann famously called Damrau a Stradivarius that can swear like a sailor. Think about that. The epitome of refined beauty combined with the raw, earthy power of unbridled emotion. It's a compliment that speaks volumes. Even superstar soprano Anna Netrebko offered a telling comment to Opera News. When asked if she would consider the role, she reportedly demurred, saying something like, "Diana already broke the sound barrier. I just want to land safely." This isn't just a compliment. It's an acknowledgement from one of the world's leading sopranos that Damrau has set an almost impossibly high standard. And then there are the critics.
Damrau has graced the stages of the Met, Covent Garden, the Vienna State Opera, and the Salzburg Festival, the pinnacles of the operatic world. And her success rate on that notorious high F, an astonishing, unbelievable 100%. Hundreds of performances under immense pressure, and not once has she faltered. No substitutions, no transpositions, no excuses. That unwavering consistency transformed the aria from a moment of terror for both singer and audience into her undeniable calling card. She didn't just sing the Queen of the Night, she became the Queen of the Night, forever etching her name into the pantheon of operatic legends. If your ears are still ringing with the echoes of that F6, hit that like button. Let me know you felt it, and drop a comment below, and tell me which other killer note, which other vocal Everest I should dissect next. Maybe it's Cabalet's legendary pianissimo high C, or perhaps Michael Bolton's infamous F5 that tragically cracked on live TV. Whatever your suggestion, subscribe to Opera Brownn, and I'll see you on the next vocal summit. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from Diana Damrau's reign as the Queen of the Night? It's this. She doesn't just hit the F6. She weaponizes it. She transforms it from a technical challenge into the fulcrum of the drama. The moment a mother disowns her child, and simultaneously, the moment a soprano utterly owns history. Other singers approach this aria hoping to survive. But Damrau doesn't merely survive, she conquers. She stamps her authority on every note, walking away as if it were just another Tuesday. That's why, when people speak of the Queen of the Night, they no longer just picture a character. They picture Diana Damrau, eyes blazing, her voice a laser-sharp instrument of vengeance, firing that stratospheric high F straight into the cosmos. It's a note so lethal, it has killed careers. Yet in her hands, it becomes so luminous,
It crowns legends. She didn't just perform the role, she redefined it, setting a standard that will inspire and intimidate sopranos for generations to come.